Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is one of those days. It is Thursday, March 2nd, 9:56 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. And the market is kind of I mean, let's take a look at what's going on today. There's an incredible cold front and a lot of snowy weather coming down from the north. It's even frigid and darn near hailing here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's unseasonably, strangely, biblically gray out there. And north of us in Prescott, they got like 14 inches of snow in the last 48 hours or something like that, which is not impossible, but definitely uncommon. So, well, here we are, biblical weather. Biblically crappy market. Let's check out what's going on. So bitcoindailyview.com got more for you there. Check it out. All right. Looking at the crypto universe in squares. Basically, it's one great big red square with a few little specks of green. EOS is green today. I kind of like that. And T is green also. GMT, let's actually check out GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. I'm sure that's not what it really stands for, but EOS is looking good. Frax is kind of cool. And what else? Anything else? Anyway, we're seeing a few green things in the market. So in this vast sea of red 2-day, and T. Let's see what's going on with T. T was looking good yesterday, kind of had some potential. So looking at FinViz, the market this morning started with a real push in the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, but boom, kind of gave a lot of it back. Not really too exciting overall today there. Tesla, let me refresh this right here. Tesla, for whatever reason, down 6.45%. Amazon down 1.76. The financial banks diversified. Interesting. J.P. Morgan down 1.5. Bank of America Corporation down 2.8. Basically, if we round that up, Wells Fargo down 2, and Citicorp down 1.8. What is going on with that? That's wild. I don't know why that's happening. Healthcare diagnostic research, they're kind of doing pretty good today. But anyway, Amazon and Tesla. Tesla definitely looks like the great big loser of the day so far, unfortunately. Salesforce, a forgotten company with an empty building there in San Francisco. Technology software application section here of the S&P 500. Salesforce up 11.63% today. What in the crap for? Interesting. While we rock through this, if we could, just for the fun of it, not that I want to, bore y'all, but just for real, why in the crap is Salesforce? What is the news? What is stock pops on earnings beat? Okay, so the earnings were good today. Okay, cool. So their earnings was coming good, I guess. Anyway, odd. So with that said, let's look at the market stuff today. Dollar strength index today definitely had a rejection off of a previous high the other day, but basically, yesterday was a red candle. Today is definitely a green candle, and the market certainly is showing that to be the case. Oil continues creating its beautiful lower highs and cruising up. S&P 500, it's showing here as a green day, but I don't quite get how it's a green. Let me actually go to FinViz one more time here. Has something changed? S&P 500 .20. Doesn't look too happening. Well, anyway, we'll keep rocking through this. Here it shows, a green doji kind of candle there on the daily. Well, anyway, overall, maybe it is a green candle on the daily. Here's the big deal. S&P 500 broke the 200, hit the 314, got rejected, back down to the 200. It's really, are we going to bounce or what? Definitely. Even though the dollar strength index is cranking today, it has not truly pushed the S&P 500 below that daily 200 moving average. So definitely, if we could start a bounce here, that would be a glorious thing. Maybe we can send the dollar strength index down to hell, back where it belongs. All right. And Bitcoin versus Tether, red day today. Looking at gold, red day. You can't quite make it happen. At least it's above the 314, kind of continuing that 314 moving average bounce on the daily chart. Silver, it's just basically try to hit the 200 moving average and get some energons going, but basically it got rejected so far. So silver, kind of weak today. Looking at volume explicitly for Bitcoin, last 24 hours, 7.5 billion. That's really dreadful volume for a Thursday, for a weekday. Looking at Rex, yesterday it was like 94 billion in Rex or something like that. Million, I mean. Today it's 62 million. So basically, I am noticing that people are getting over trying to long and short the market so darn hard last 24 hours. And that's kind of a good thing because people were like yesterday, it was just sad to watch the liquidations. Why people try so hard with big leverage, I just don't know. Um, Binance coming. Well, okay, let's look at all of them here. Basically, all the top 20 exchanges. Is it all of them? Yeah, all the top 20 exchanges are in the red today. It's just not really happening. So big exchanges, the big players in the red today. How about derivative? That's spot trading for spot trading pairs for derivatives. We're at 36 billion. It would make sense. We're seeing less RECs adding up, so people aren't trying to leverage as hardcore in this uncertain market. Looking at the Bitcoin, the top 100, Bitcoin coming in at 23,275. That's very nice. In general, most of the top 100 are in the red. I saw a couple green earlier, like a Terra Classic. Definitely was pushing some green, but in general, top 100 are pretty much getting wrecked. Unless maybe you're playing some of those against Bitcoin, then you may have some green there. Looking at longs versus shorts with on Binance, longs versus shorts on Binance. For Bitcoin, coming in at 61% long, 38% short. There has been, even with our recent volatility, a long bias for Bitcoin on Binance, and I'll take it, sure. For Ethereum, 56% long, 43% short. So basically, just not a whole lot of energons there for Ethereum. Looking at Bitcoin here on the 4-hour chart, this is, I think, what's really the difficult moment today. I don't exactly understand why the market's kind of taking such a hit today on crypto market. It could be just the dollar strength index pumping. S&P 500 in a pivotal spot. Is it going to keep that 200 or not? Might be other larger financial things going on that I'm just not aware of. I kind of don't pay attention to the what the Fed's doing and things like that. I really should to a greater extent, but I usually hear about it, and I don't know of anything happening today. But there's some news we'll look at real quick, which might be a reason that the market's having some weak volatility today. So here it is, Bitcoin versus USDT on the 4-hour chart. What I'm seeing here, which is a big deal, is 4-hour chart is riding this 200 moving average. That's the white moving average right there. The 314 is way below it. The green one, really, we're at kind of a make or break moment. Once again, are we going to hold this thing or what? If we don't hold that 4-hour 200 moving average, that's just not incredibly spiffy. Although we do see a squeeze indicator beginning to turn positive. This little red, little white cross there, that means that it squeezes on. The bulls and the bears are fighting each other. And I would say so. Looking at the directional index, it's in the red, and ADX it's gone south. It's pretty much it's not there. Looking at the volume indicator here, volume, and this is cumulative volume of buys and sells, so it's not buy green, sell red. Blue is basically no volume, green is average, yellow is increased, and red is Lambo volume, which could be a culmination of both buys and sells together. With that said, ultimately, just volume last good number of days is just ultimately, if you look at it, it is slowly kind of decreasing. It's just not happening. So, a 4-hour chart, got to keep it to the moving average, or it's going to go potty. And the thing is, really, I think traders are getting a little bit fatigued, because if you look right here, we had these candles by Samflower. If we had a nice good push off that 200 moving average, well, once we dumped below it, but then of course we just gave it all back. So I think really, you can play any market, but really, like I say, Bitcoin, when it's healthy, it makes trading alts a little easier. Okay, that's just my take on it. Some alts make money every day, no matter what, or they lose money and you're shorting them. But anyway, this kind of action right here, where you're riding such an important moving average as like the 4-hour 200 moving average, when you're kind of ranging like this on it, that's just crappy, because it could launch from here or dump from here. But I think holding on to it that long is just unusual. You can kind of see here where back in the day here, we not too long ago we were kind of doing something the same, and as you can see, everybody was watching at that time, and they were saying, okay, we tested the 200 once, got rejected, tried it again. Okay, now there we go. So really, and of course here we jumped right to it. We're under it. I mean, if you go back and look at the 4-hour chart, when you visit the 200 moving average like this, something is usually going to happen. As you can see, it's a pivotal moment when you start hitting it. I mean, there was this thing here which I think burned a lot of people out, was this sideways ranging action, but it did break above the 200 moving average, had a little bit of a pump, couldn't quite make the 314, came down right to 200, and then bam, exploded. So right now, you've got people are going, well, is this sideways action here going to end up looking like this? Are we going to ride that thing for, weeks and weeks, months and months, which is fine. You can make money there, but people make money no matter what. It's just that sometimes it's a little bit more fun than other times. Let me actually grab this thing here. Can I grab that? Let me grab it. There you go. Yeah, because, I don't think anybody really wants to do that again. That's fine. If Bitcoin starts ranging strong like that, I mean, doing that kind of ranging, that's fine too, but we'll have to, do it for a day or two, figure out, okay, that's what the game is, and we'll just play it. It just gets fatiguing if you're riding the 200 like we are right now. Like ranging sideways here was no big deal. That's great. That's just wonderful. That's fine, because you're above the 200. It just makes all trading easier. I like it. So anyway, I think we're seeing a little bit of hesitation in the market. One of the things that will make it, in my opinion, a little bearish is just people don't like to play when Bitcoin's in this range. They kind of want it to either break below, give it up, or pump. And also you've got a lot of people who are going to be longing and shorting. Based on this 200 moving average cross in the 4-hour chart, I do believe. And right now we ain't quite sure what it's going to do yet, because you got a kind of a mix of indicators saying different stuff. So, but do note this, on the daily chart, above the 200 or above the 314, we're kind of heading sideways. It's kind of nice. One of the things that I have noticed, mentioned before, is that, we did kind of, on the way back up, we kind of got rejected there. As you can see, that was a previous high, and we're having a hard time getting back above that, and that does make sense. But when we break that, then we're good to go. I mean, really, and I wouldn't, if you look at it on a daily perspective, you do have, ultimately, you've got a, you can call this a low, and you can call this like a lower high. You can call that a high. You can call that a higher high. And so, very likely we could see something like this, where Bitcoin eventually just goes like that, and starts doing that kind of action on the daily. Certainly could see it. It's in the right place to start making that happen, and then really, if we start moving up like that, really, if we start moving up, grab that ray again. I'm gonna go right here. Bonk. I mean, how many? That's really our next big, kind of like high, that previous high that might actually cause, a glass ceiling to have to get beat to get beat on until we break above it or get rejected by it. But really, that would be like, that's 33% or so you could make before you get to that high. And where's that high? That high is like 31,000. And I mean, anybody who can just sit back and ride that, especially if they got a couple X leverage, they're gonna be darn happy. So I think really, and then also true, you do have the S&P 500 in that weird situation where it's getting rejected, where it got rejected by the 314 moving average. Bitcoin didn't. The S&P 500 might bounce into 200, might not. We don't quite know yet. Bitcoin's still kind of holding sideways, holding strong sideways above these important moving averages. So what in the world? And of course, the 4-hour chart is being, a pain in the ass. And I think ultimately, if you look at the 45-minute chart, it is also a 45-minute chart. Bitcoin is below the 200 moving average. Really, 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 all trading is 1,000% easier if we can get up here and start ranging above the 200 and the 314. Squeeze indicator would denote maybe we're getting ready to go there. Directional index, definitely. It's beginning to go in the right direction. ADX is climbing, and that's cool. But, we'll see what happens. Really, are we going to get, a move like this again? Are we going to get, a move like this, and then hopefully it can break over that 314 and keep going? I'm happy longing or shorting, really, prefer to long, rather than short. But, this is tough because I'm not exactly sure. Like looking at the 45-minute chart here, I really couldn't call a long or a short right now. I mean, we're ultimately, you could say that the, on this time frame here, that the directional index is kind of, trending towards the downside. You could say ultimately that like volume ultimately is declining. And I don't really use the squeeze this way, but you could kind of say it's doing like this. But of course, the squeeze is a, it is more of an indicator like this. So I think really, but the squeeze does tend to linger behind the directional index, and the directional index does have some positive energons to it, at least, even if it's still in the red. So we'll see what happens. Really, we need it to either get into an attitude of where people can start shorting it and making money, or longing it and making money. I think if you just do play a role in things right now, and I mean, what do you do right now? Do you long or short? Even if you're just doing spot, like what do you do right now? It's a hard thing to be in, hard spot to be in for spot and derivatives. Looking at the hourly chart, the hourly chart kind of looks pretty strongly like we got a 200 moving average rejection right there, and it's moving down from there. Squeeze indicator is kind of only getting started there. This always tends to be pretty weak right here. When the squeeze, you really want the squeeze indicator to be doing kind of moves more like, more like this. You want nice swings like that. You want kind of a nice, you want something of consequence. When it kind of does like anemic stuff like this, that's hard to play, And once again, like on the hourly chart, you can look here. Oh, good. Like on the hourly chart, you can see where even there, it's somewhat difficult, because ultimately, I mean, yeah, this to me, if I was to the hourly chart, this is way more of a what am I doing today? Sorry, immediately more of a bearish chart. So I won't belabor all this, but really, you know, on the directional index, it's beginning to chill out. ADX is raising, but you only want ADX to be on the way up when your price action is going down. If they're aiming at each other, it's never a good day. So anyway, it's all about what's going to happen. It's just, this is a hard market to play. Alts are easier to trade when Bitcoin is at least going sideways above the 45-minute 200 and 314 moving average, the hourly, and then also if you're above the 4, that's really great. So if we can get that 4-hour to bounce today, that'd be really great. Anyway, we'll see if it does. Kind of all eyes, I think, especially on their short time frames. We'll have to turn around first, most likely, of course. But really, if we lose this this 4-hour 200 moving average, well, what does that mean? Does it mean something like this and we come back, or is it going to be like a nice pump? Just don't know. Anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm fatigued. It pisses me off. So, but here's the thing: always some alts making money. This is ELF versus USDT 4-hour chart, as you can see. Beautiful upwards channel right here. Let me nix the cave here, the ATR cave, to make it a little easier to see. And you can see beautiful, beautiful move up like that. I love that we keep seeing these candles by Sam, these purple candles, stack up. I think that's really, really bullish. I like that, like what I'm seeing. We kind of did recently lose a higher high. This here is, you could almost say it, like, it's kind of call it like an equal high, which is not exactly the end of things. But really, it's, if you take the wicks out, after all, they are just wicks, kind of a horizontal line here, bang. You can see it's pretty darn close. It's not quite over yet, so we're getting a nice series of lower lows. We've been getting, relatively higher highs for a while. Of course, this, I mean, you certainly can get something like this that happened. Like here you go, had a higher high. This one didn't quite make it. Then, of course, we started to, stack higher highs again, work our way back up. These things don't have to be, perfect. So anyway, really, ELF versus USDT. What I like about this on the 4-hour chart, the squeeze indicator is beginning to go positive. Directional index is positive, and of course, the volume indicator here, is definitely showing a beautiful pump up in volume recently. We're continuing to get nice volume. I like that. Looking at a 45-minute chart on this one here, recently broke above that 200 moving average. But of course, once again, it's a tough day because we had that run, but at least for initially right here, now it's kind of showing some signs of weakness. So I'm kind of watching this one here on the 4-hour, and I'm like, well, you know what? Just don't know. I'm kind of thinking that maybe a play here, for me at least, is I think maybe I'm going to put you right there. So maybe this guy needs to kind of, it's going to have to confirm for me a little bit tougher than, a little bit better than that. I'm just not sure. The market is so flaccid right now that I'm going to just, this guy here, I think I would like to see possibly, another 200, this guy come down to the 45-minute 200 moving average and make a bounce with good indicators at that point. And I think definitely then maybe I'd be getting in on it, but really I'm not going to, if I'm going to actually get in on this guy right here, I'm looking at the 45-minute chart and I'm going to let this thing come down and grab somewhere around here as a buy. Probably a 200 moving average bounce or bottom of the channel bounce. But once I get that confirmed with good indicators, maybe ELF versus USDT would be one that I would hop in. But right now it could turn around towards the upside, but right now it's starting to look a little weak. Even if the 4-hour chart looks kind of good, I'm really not into right now with the market as it sits. Just the kind of mood of the market. I'm really not into buying anything that's going to do anything but go green after I buy it. I want to buy it when it's hitting the green, get a trailing take profit, and that's my trust level right now. So there you go. I ain't got no long-term plans. It's all short trades, you know what I mean, or short-term trades. Get some green, trailing take profit, hop the crap out. But if this guy did visit the bottom of the channel, especially with its wicking nature. If you think about it, if I do like a forecast here, this guy could, hit the bottom of this channel. And what if you got into that and it kind of rode to the top of the channel in some reasonable amount of time? That's, 18%. Definitely could happen. So anyway, that's what I think about that one. ELF versus USD. Also, ELF versus BTC is being traded. You can play that on KuCoin and Binance and all. So if you got some BTC you want to trade, the chart looks remarkably the same. Honestly, a little better. I think so. That's one to think about. You might even be seeing one of these, for what it's worth. You might be seeing a W for win. Win could happen. So I'll just throw that one out there. But anyway, that said, let's move on to the next. Lun C definitely was an interesting play today. This thing, 45-minute chart, broke to 200 to 314, took off like a rocket ship. I did a fib sequence to see if this thing would bounce at a spot that we would expect and could work with, but really pretty much it's gone beyond the 786. It's pretty much given all those gains that it got back, and now the directional index is in the red and squeeze indicators dumping, volume is gone. So anyway, that one's out of here. So real quick, let's just fire up some ones that we saw today. GMT versus USDT. How's that one looking? You can put it on Binance and KuCoin. This one's kind of nice. I like what I'm seeing. One of the things about it is you have a nice directional squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index, as you can see, is kind of trending down. Volume's going down. This thing definitely made a strong break. Tested the 314, made a move. It's going sideways. Right now, it's just kind of my take on it. It's just going sideways. I don't really. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart kind of looking nice. 4-hour charts below the 200. I would just, I would just kind of step away from GMT. EOS versus USDT. How's that one looking? You can play it on Binance, KuCoin. You can play it in a lot of nice places. I like this one. This is in the right spot. So 4-hour chart definitely ran hard, came down. Nice, beautiful 200 moving average bounce on the 4-hour chart. Moving up. It's just right now. Challenging and probably getting over a recent high. So we'll see how it does there. As you can see, it's kind of getting rejected there, but these indicators are just getting rolling. This could definitely be a play, but so many things are doing exactly this move right here. This morning they had a run. Now they're kind of just sitting there sideways. So I'm not too excited. This would have been hot earlier this morning, getting off this 200 moving average. And if I was in it, I'd probably stay in it. But right now at kind of a zero profit play, if I hopped in it right now, I'd wait for this thing to actually show me something. Either get above this higher high, this previous high, and keep moving, or retrace and bounce. If we look at a 45-minute chart, how's that looking? Yeah, you can really see where this previous high is knocking it down. Squeeze indicator would show maybe we're getting ready to move up, Directional index is trailing off. Nice volume. You know what? Play at your own risk. EOS is not incredibly exciting. Frey versus USDT. Free. Oh, Frax. Frax versus USDT. How's that one looking? This one's going on weird exchanges, but Polynex, Gate.io. Okay. No, just forget that one. I don't even want to hear it. I'm not even going to go there. Whatever. T versus USDT. That's on Binance, OKX, KuCoin. Let's look at that one. It's on Binance. It's on Binance US. It's also on KuCoin and Gate.io and MEXC. So kind of cool. Let's look at it on KuCoin. Oh, I like this one. Okay, so this is nice. It's slowly working its way up. I like this channel. God, can you actually really sort of kind of get a channel roll in here? I guess you kind of could like that. Then it kind of burst out of the channel, came back down. I like this one. This is nice. A lot of nice pushing, a lot of nice volume. It's a 45-minute chart. How about a 4-hour chart? How's the 4-hour chart look? Yeah, I like that. 4 hours kind of just getting started. Honestly, though, I'm going to tell you what. This one kind of excites me. And I like the different places you can play it. But what I'm going to do on this one actually is exciting. I like it. I'm going to wait for this one to show me something. I really think we're going to see some sideways back to this channel and then move up. You know, it looks to me like we're going to see something like this, you know, and then a move up. Or that's just kind of what I'm seeing right now. So I'm going to watch this one because we also could get a play like, you know, I'm going to give it back and then bounce, you know. It's in the right place. And if we look at this one here, also very important. How is this one on the 4-hour? So the 200 on the 45-minute chart, it's above the 200 moving average. On the 4-hour chart, it's above the 200 moving average. How about the daily? It's the ultimate test. Daily it is too. Okay, so T is definitely exciting. So today, March 2nd, 10:23 a.m. You know, after this one runs a little bit further and I get a better idea of what it's going to do, T versus USDT definitely interests me. I like that you can play it on a lot of exchanges. That kind of excites me. I like that. ELF, it's a 4-hour chart. Yeah, ELF versus USDT. This one very well may start moving. I think that could be a W for, you know, wind pattern. I'm gonna watch. I don't like everything right now. Is kind of like looking at the 4-hour chart. We're seeing this action right here where it had a move and now it's a red candle. It's about the 200 moving average. I like that. I'm just going to keep an eye on it, but I'm not going to do anything with it right now. Bitcoin, once again, really, you know, if it loses this 200 moving average and really starts to move down, alts are going to get wrecked. If it starts to move up, alts are going to move. So I really am I'm an impatient individual. I have no doubt. It's just that really Bitcoin right now is weak. And this is just not so cool. It's got to, you know, just if it stays this way, if it dumps the 200 moving average and it just starts to tumble, whatever. I'm just sorry that I'm a little bit all over the place today. It's just, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Right now, Bitcoin is just not in a friendly place right here to be, you know, looking to be playing trades right now. Like all of this, like this would have been crappy. That would have been crappy. All this is crappy. This was okay. You know, then it's been harder to trade alts recently. So really, it needs to get back. Yeah. Or if it's going to just plummet or go sideways, we'll play it from there. But right now, because there'll be more stability. If it goes down here below the 200 moving average and starts to range sideways or slowly dump, we can play that too. But right now, it's just a very, very annoying place. Watch your stops. Anyway, now with that said, let's look at some news real quick. Breaking: a Ukrainian terrorist attack is underway in Bryansk, Russia. The attackers said on video they wouldn't kill civilians, but there are reports of hostages and mass casualties. Putin has convened an emergency meeting of the Security Council. He has done that. This event does seem to be happening. I don't know why this guy's wearing a shower cap over his helmet, but anyway, I guess that's probably winter camo. Yeah, it is. Then look at this guy, geriatric patient. What's he gonna do? You know. I don't know if this is real or not. I mean, but, you know, there's been a couple of these guys, another manifesto posted by attackers crossing the border, looking to stir up stuff. I've always wondered about, you know, Slavic soldiers, be they like Russian or Ukrainian, whatever. Beards always confused me. I was in the military, and I mean, gas mask, bro. You're dead if you get gassed. And gas can sometimes just be I can't breathe because crap is on fire. This one guy got identified, and he is a bad dude, or at least depending on who you're asking, but he is legit a person. He's a Russian-born dude, not fighting for Ukraine. So anyway, he does seem to exist. Anyways, Putin unhappy, not too happy about this, And anyway, I do agree with Bobart here. A map showing the only place my taxes should go. I would have to tell you, I'm all about like let them sort it out. I think this move was crazy. And one thing is also watch the markets because it is interesting. I'm not sure what's going to come out of that Russian Security Council meeting. If this is happening, Russia right now is firing on the average of like 60,000 artillery shells a day. What is it? What's the region? Oh gosh, sorry, I forget. An important city, town kind of just got taken by the Russians like yesterday and the day before. A lot of desperation right now. A lot of false flags could happen by a lot of different interested parties. Might do that, like who recently blew up the Nord Stream. That we kind of think is pretty confirmed now, if you ask me. Anyway, if these guys do something a little bit heinous and it does piss off the Mr. Putin here, expect frigging carnage, and that could affect the market because definitely they will be frigging clearing out Kiev 1 square kilometer at a time. So with that said, new cryptocurrency exchanges cannot be relied on as qualified custodians. Sec Chair Guppy face here. Actually, Guppies are cute. He's not. We need transparent audits now, whatever that means. But anyway, here's the thing. What's this guy's name again? Who even cares? This dude. You know what? I'm kind of you know what? I'm just going to be honest with you. I do judge people by appearances. Nobody this ridiculously ugly and strange looking is a good dude. So this news could be rocking the markets a bit today, causing uncertainty. Whenever this guy says something with this weird little claw, like bent up fingers, he kind of looks like an ahi tuna, big forehead. Anyway, weird dude. Sorry, but regardless of that, the only man who, not quite yet. One more interesting news story. I like it. 3D printed fashion collection turns heads at NFT Paris. I like it. Sure, NFT printed dresses. Imagine that. It's an NFT. It's clothes. You know what I mean? I tell you what, if there was an emergent coin on this right now that you could get into, I probably would be looking at that chart because this is interesting. I like it. It's cool. So I'll take it. Anyway, guys, I'll put this in the live chat just in case anybody cares. It's kind of an interesting little article. So this was probably way too long and rambling, but regardless, the only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. Most don't. You do. You're a crypto truth seeker. You're making the world a better place. If your Bitcoin Satoshi you own punches a disgusting old globalist in the nuts, just like this dude, and that's a good reason to get out of bed in the morning. So take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow.